All right, welcome to the Hank Haney Podcast. Recording today on nofilter.net. You can check out the Hank Haney Podcast on nofilter.net and a lot of other great programming as well on nofilter.net. You can hear the Hank Haney Podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Hank Haney Podcast. And you can also see the Hank Haney Podcast on YouTube TV, Hank Haney channel on YouTube TV. All right. The Hank Haney Podcast is also brought to you by HaneyUniversity.com. That is my website, and that's where you go to find out information about golf lessons from me, either at the golf practice in Highland Park, Illinois, where I am currently teaching and was this morning, or you can find out about getting a lesson in Scottsdale, Arizona when I visit there on a monthly basis. So go to HaneyUniversity.com and check it out. Okay, I want to talk about a tweet that I sent out on the. I sent it out on the X, okay, or the Twitter, the tweet, and it was a little bit of a. Well, I just wanted to see what people would think if I sent this tweet out, and I said something like, "Wow." Start off with "Wow." Or no, I mean, I might start with like, I'm glued to the TV. I'm glued to the TV watching the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. And then I put comma, wow. That's all I put. I just, I mean, it was a good tournament. Coming right down to the final hole. As tight as you could be. Great drama, tremendous drama. Par 5 finishing hole, reachable in 2. Players, with a one-shot lead. You can't get any better than that. It's just as good as it gets. Par 5, reachable in 2, and all the drama. It's as good as you could get. I just tweeted out. I said, "Wow, I'm watching this," and all of a sudden, I get bombarded with. I sense the sarcasm. What do you mean? Wow. And then I had a guy rip me if I could tweet anything. And these people rip me to bits, okay? You're a has-been. You were never any good. Who have you ever taught that did any good? Who currently are you teaching on the tour that's winning? I'm like, all right. I'm retired from teaching touring pros. I hadn't taught a touring pro since Tiger Woods. I worked with him for 6 years during the most prolific time in his career. He won almost 50% of his PGA Tour events. He won 6 majors while I helped him, and that's not where my list started. That's where my list ended. For my friend on X who's ripping me to bits. But anyway, I can take it. It's no problem. I wanted to see what people's reaction was to my wow comment. Now I'm watching the Byron Nelson. I lived in Texas for 29 years. I know a lot about I've been to the Byron Nelson so many times. I went to the Byron Nelson every year I lived in Texas. I've been to like 29 Byron Nelsons. Actually, I've probably been to more than that because I went with Mark O'Meara when he was playing the Byron Nelson before I lived in Texas. So I've probably been to like 30 Byron Nelsons. The Byron Nelson Championship used to be like one of the big events on the PGA Tour. And it was a big event because of Byron Nelson. Byron Nelson's iconic golfer, won 11 straight events on the PGA Tour one time. One of the greatest people you'd ever meet in your life. I was lucky enough to meet Byron Nelson, and speak to him many times. And I idolized Byron Nelson. Great man. Just as a charming man, and so good for the game of golf. He used to go up to every player on the PGA Tour that he wanted to play in his tournament and he would personally ask them to play in his tournament. I would really appreciate it if you would come and play in my tournament. And such a sincere guy. Tournament raised millions and millions of dollars. The Salesmanship Club runs the tournament in Dallas, and they raise all this money for charity. And for many, many years, the Byron Nelson was the number one tournament on the PGA Tour. I mean, it's hard to even fathom what I was watching on Sunday. It really is. But of course, Byron Nelson passed away. So he wasn't going and hitting people up and saying, you know, and how are you going to turn down Byron Nelson? I mean, even Tiger Woods wouldn't turn down Byron Nelson. It wouldn't happen. He would show up. If Byron Nelson went up to him at the Masters and said, you know, Masters Champions Dinner, would you play at the, you know, my tournament? You know, Tiger would show up and he would play. But the tournament used to be a happening. It was like a major happening. They played out at the Las Colinas Sports Club out in Irving. I mean, they bust them in there. I mean, there was so many. It was the Phoenix Open, the Phoenix Waste Management Open, before the Phoenix Waste Management Open was the Open, which is what they call it in Phoenix. They call it this tournament was phenomenal. And they always wanted, you know, they're always redoing the course and redoing all this stuff out there to try to make it, you know, better. It didn't matter. It was an event. Everybody came to the Nelson. Mr. Nelson got everybody to come to the tournament, but the fans came out and they came out and they came out and they came out, and they raised so much money for charity. I remember back in the day, they were like, they started worrying, you know, their field was getting a little weaker. And, you know, what do we need to do to get the field better? And they were idolizing the tournament, the Wells Fargo tournament that's happening this week in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's played on a great golf course. Quail Hollow is a great golf course. And I said, you know, I'm not sure if that should be your model. You know, your date's kind of not as good for the tournament. Your golf course isn't nearly as good. It's not even close to as good. They've switched courses now. They're playing at their TPC course up in McKinney, and you know, I said, I don't think that's what you guys should do. I said, I think you guys should kind of model after the Phoenix Open. Make it an event. Make it fun. Make it this. Of course, they didn't listen to me. You know, they didn't listen to me. They wanted to pretend like the Byron Nelson was the Masters. Well, it's not the Masters. It's not the Masters. It's not the U.S. Open. It's not the Open Championship. It's not the PGA. It's not the Players. It's a PGA Tour event, and it kind of needed to be a happening. Right now, it's a not happening. Like, I'm watching that tournament on TV, and I was like, that's why I tweet out, wow. First off, just for starters, great tournament. Taylor Pendrith wins. Like I wouldn't know these guys from the man in the moon. He beats Ben Coles. Ben Coles. Ben Coles is coming down the last hole. Ben Coles has got a one-shot lead. Ben Coles hits a good drive. Ben Coles can get it, and I'm listening. I'm listening on the TV or the radio. I'm listening on the radio. I'm watching the TV, but I'm also listening on the radio. I'm listening to the recap show on the radio, and there's something about like Ben Coles. You know, he's gonna. I mean, they can't help but sugarcoat everything. So they're telling me how Ben Coles this is gonna be a springboard for him. He made $1 million in this tournament. He finished second, okay, and it's gonna be a springboard to him, and he's gonna take this and he's gonna go with it, you know. And I'm like, and they go like, I'm like, where's he going with this? I mean, like, he came off the buy.com or the Corn Ferry, whatever they call that thing, the Corn Ferry Tour. It's the second feeder tour for the PGA Tour. And, you know, a lot of players are winning and coming off of this thing. So he said he's gonna take this. It's gonna give him a lot of, you know, and they're going through this whole thing. And I'm like, really? I mean, Ben Coles? I mean, they said he first got his tour card. I think I got this right. They said he got his tour card in 2013 or something. I mean, I thought I heard that right. I mean, Oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, it's just this stuff. You can't make this up. This this guy's got a one-shot lead going into 18. Ben Coles. Okay. He turned pro. Yeah, that's true. He turned pro in 2012. But he's going to take this springboard from the 2024 event, and it's going to, and this is their favorite statement they make. Like, first off, they tell you how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour, and it is, okay? Obviously, not that hard, because look at all these guys that are doing it. But they tell you he's gonna win soon. I'm like, he's gonna win soon. He first got on tour in 2013, and he's been back and forth between the Corn Ferry, Buy.com, Nike Tour, whatever they called it then. It's amazing. He's got a one-shot lead on 18, reachable par 5. He drives it down there, good drive. Got 269 yards to the green or to the pin or whatever. That's not much. You know, it used to be a lot, but that's not much by today's standard. 269 is not a lot. He's got to make a birdie to win because the other guy, Taylor Pendrith, he wins the tournament. He birdies the last hole. He been leading all day. Great story. We got Taylor Pendrith battling it out with Ben Coles. I mean, if this doesn't get your juices going, I don't know what would. Okay, because this is one for the ages. I mean, you listen to this lineup here: Taylor Pendrith, Ben Coles, Alex Norton. I've heard of him. S.H. Kim, I heard of him. A. Ray, Ben On, Matt Wallace, Jay Knapp. Wouldn't know his first name. You know, T. Semikawa. R. Campos, then we got a Troy Merritt, Kevin Twake. I mean, that's your top 10 right there. Now, scroll down and find me somebody you maybe have heard before. You know, I've used this example before. I remember when I was a kid growing up, and my dad would take me to the Western Open in Chicago, back when they had a tournament in Chicago. Now they got an LIV tournament in Chicago, but back when they had a PGA tournament in Chicago, one of the greatest golf places you could be, the greatest golf city in America, no PGA Tour event. Crazy. More great golf courses here than any place in America. Can't find a PGA Tour event. You got an LIV though now. You got an LIV. So my dad would take me to that tournament, and I would like scour the paper. I'm like, who are we going to watch today? Who are we going to watch? And I didn't, I'm like, I want to watch the leaders, see who's playing the best. But what I want to do, I want to watch this guy. I want to watch this guy. I want to watch this guy. You know, my dad always talked about, this guy that grew up near him in Galesburg, Illinois. I want to watch that guy. I want to watch. I want to watch this amateur guy. Used to be an amateur, now he's a pro. Bob Zender. I want to watch him. I want to watch all these guys. Guys I've heard of. You go down this list on the PGA Tour. First off, forget about finding a personality. Try to find somebody you heard of. Now, people say, Hank, you're so negative on this. You're negative on it. You're dogging on the PGA. I'm not dogging on anything. I'm just telling you the way it is. You know why? Because when I hear this all the time from people, golfers, I teach golfers, and they come and they go, my God, Hank, what is going on with the PGA Tour? Hey, I don't know. Didn't you enjoy it? I mean, like you got to watch Adam Scott finish 30th. At least I know who he is. Got a great swing. Keith Mitchell, his claim to fame is they call him Cashmere because he wears nice sweaters, but it's getting warm now, so you don't get to see him. They got Zach Johnson. He was a Ryder Cup captain. He like when your biggest name in the tournament is a former Ryder Cup captain, like you become the Ryder Cup captain when you can't play anymore. Okay, and so he's a guy. I mean, he's a losing Ryder Cup captain. So the only people that go out to watch him now are guys that go out there to give him a bunch of crap for losing. He can't take it, by the way. If it's too hot in the kitchen, don't go there. I mean, if you're going to be Ryder Cup captain, you're only counting on winning. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. And you know what? You picked them. You played them. Own it. That's what I would say. But he's your star of the show right there, because you go down the list, you can't find anybody you've ever heard of. Seriously. I mean, I've heard of Alex Norm, but I wouldn't walk across the street to watch him. Kevin Chappelle. These are your big names. Seriously. This is it. Brett Snedeker. Hadn't played good in I don't know how long. Jason Day, now defending champion. Jason Day's a nice player. Like if I was going to watch, I'd go watch him. Problem is he's playing with somebody. He's playing with somebody I don't want to watch. But I watch him. They had Matt Kuchar, he's still out there. And they had Jordan Spieth. And Jordan Spieth missed the cut. He missed the cut. He was their big star. He missed the cut. This is amazing. When you're watching this stuff, I don't know who they're kidding. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what they're thinking. But if anybody looks at this and doesn't think they got a problem, and they need to fix fast, like faster than fast, like who is CJ Cup? And like, how in the world did they talk them into sponsoring this thing? And how are they going to talk them into maybe they signed a 5-year deal. I don't know. How are they going to get them to re-up? Like, I can't figure it out. I mean, it's brutal. And I'm watching this. And this is a compelling tournament. The only thing, the problem with it is the guys that are playing and are coming down the stretch with a chance to win, nobody knows who the heck they are. You got no idea. And they aren't up, they try to sell you on it. It's up and comers and, new stars of today. New stars, guy's been on tour since 2013. And Taylor Penrith, he wins his first tournament on the P. That's a nice story. The wife comes out, the kid comes out. It's great. That choked me up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that's good. But look how he won. The other guy, Ben Coles, he played birdie 16. I think he birdied 7. He gets to 18. He's just got he hits a great drive. It's a par 5. It's a par 5. They're playing ball in hand, like you can give yourself a good lie. Ball in hand, wide zoysia grass fairways, soft greens. It rained like crazy there during the week. But it'll get easier. He's got 269 in. He saws off this heel cut. Okay, heel cut. Doesn't even get it there. It goes in between the bunker and the pin. First off, you don't want to miss it there. That's the short side miss. You got all kinds of green to the left. Knock it on the green somewhere. Knock it over there to the left. Leave yourself an easy pitch shot. He puts it in the and doesn't get in the bunker. He gets it in the grass. Now what's he got? Okay, pitch it on the green. Pitch it on the green. 2-putt. If the other guy 2 putts, you got a playoff. Pitch it on the green. Maybe make a 10 or 15 footer. You got a putt to win the tournament. Not what you had in mind when you stood on the tee, but you got a putt to win the tournament. What does he do? He doesn't get the pitch shot on the green. And by the way, 3 keys to better golf: eliminating penalty shots, eliminating 2 chips, and eliminating 3 putts. A 2 chip on the 18th hole cost Ben Coles the tournament. But he chips it up there, doesn't get it on the green. Now he's standing in the bunker, hits an awkward pitch up there. I think he ended up making the putt to get in the playoff, or no, to lose by one because the other guy two putts. Oh no, he missed it. He missed it. That's what he did. He pitched it up and then he missed it. And he had like a 6-footer. He had a 6-footer. And I'm like, they go like, okay, all he's got to do is he knocks this in. Taylor knocks his in. We'll have a playoff. And they're all talking like this. I'm listening to these guys on the TV, which is hard to listen to. And I'm listening to the TV, and he goes, hey, we're going to have a playoff. I'm like, we're going to have a playoff? With these two guys? Say what? There ain't going to be no playoff. This guy ain't going to make the spot. He got no chance to make the spot. 6 feet. It's a right edge putt. He didn't even hit the hole. I mean, he didn't hit it hard enough, didn't play enough break, I don't know, pulled it, whatever. He didn't, no chance he was going to make that putt. He couldn't get it on the green from 5 yards away. Oh, my goodness gracious. And you know what? The ratings are down 24%. 24% again this week. They're going to be down every week. Now, I talked about that a week or so ago. That some of that is inflated because Tiger inflated the ratings, and now the ratings are kind of no Tiger, so now they're kind of down to back where they probably should have been in the past without Tiger. So you can't look at it like they're going to maintain the ratings they always have with Tiger Woods because it's just not. But they don't have anybody. There's nobody. There just isn't. And they got. I have no idea what the answer is, but there doesn't seem to be any urgency. Like, I don't know. I mean, I got to think the sponsors are urgent. I know they are. I got to think the tournament directors are really urgent. I know they are because I know some of them. And I've heard them talk, and they're urgent, and the sponsors are urgent, but it doesn't seem like anybody else is. No, we're just we'll just go about our business here. Byron Nelson, I'm walking out there too. I look at all these people in the on the X, on the Twitter, and of course the corrupt golf media. They're silent. Oh my God, they're silent. 24% down. And the corrupt golf media, they're not saying a word. They're not saying a word. They're not saying a word. They don't want to say, oh, it's a great tournament. Like, oh my God. It's a great, look at the galleries. There ain't anybody out there. These are the same people that took pictures and said there's nobody at an LIV event. There's nobody. Did you see the LIV event in Australia? Did you see the Byron Nelson Championship, the CJ Cup in Dallas? Pretty big difference. Pretty big difference. They got to do something. They got to fix it. I don't have the answer. Not my job to get the answer. But there needs to be some urgency. There needs to be some urgency. And if there isn't, I don't know. I mean, that's just it's not going to happen. I mean, it's a problem. It's a big problem. It's a big problem for sure. All right, today's podcast has been brought to you by Bet Online. It's your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL. All the latest stats, news, scores are all available to follow your favorite teams. You can get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. You head to the website today. It's betonline.ag, and you can use your mobile device and get in on the action. Betonline.ag, where the game starts. Go there and check it out. All right. I hope they figure this out. I hope they I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time I talk about this. I hope they get this all organized, and I hope the golf audience picks up. Golf is booming. Tee times are hard to get. Greens fee prices are up. Memberships are full. Golf is booming. COVID was a boom for golf, and yet the ratings are down 24% or more every single week. And that When are they going to fix it? When are they going to announce something? And they think they can, people say, well, we got to, it's the bickering. It's the too much talk about money. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's another answer. We'll figure out what it is soon enough. Hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon on the Hank Haney Podcast.